In Macrosoft systems, we are experts in pets hotel and kennels booking management. In this demonstration video, we will show you a very easy to use and very intuitive software, specially designed to manage the check-ins, check-outs, and stays of animals, as well as the billing of any dog's hotel. All residence management is done based on a calendar located at the top left of the screen. By default, the current active day is selected. When selecting any day, the system shows the week corresponding to the day selected at the top of the grid. On the left side of the screen, you can see a column with all the boxes or kennels existing in a kennel. The description of the boxes and their capacity can be configured according to the needs of each residence. There is not limit for the number of boxes to be implemented. The state of the boxes is visually represented by colors. Each horizontal line represents the state of a box within the selected period. In the current example, the green color means that the box is free for a certain date, red, with an R at the beginning, that the box is reserved for the date, and the purple one, that the animal is currently occupying the box. Booking management. We will make a complete example of a typical situation, in which a customer calls requesting a reservation for one of their pets. At the same time that the customer calls, you can see the availability of the boxes for the requested date. Once an available box is selected by clicking on it, the main reservation management screen appears. After selecting the start and end date of the stay, a drop-down appears with all the possible customers defined in the system, sorted by name and surname. When you select a customer, all the animals associated with the customer appear automatically. If it is a new customer, it is possible to add a new one at the same time to include the animal with its characteristics easily and quickly. Customer profile and associated pets. We will quickly review the file of an existing customer, along with their associated animals. When you open the customer file, the general profile appears with all the typical data of a customer: telephone address, type of customer, customer type, the customer tariff, etc. It is also possible to have different tariffs for each customer or type of customers. At the bottom of the menu, a navigation bar appears that allows you to quickly move from one customer to another. You can go to the first customer, the next, the last, or create a new one. When there are many customers, it is possible to search them by name, ID, telephone, email, or any other field. Next to the General tab, there is a Pets section, which contains all the animals associated with the customer. For each animal, you can define the name, important notes, such as if an animal is aggressive, or bites, or any important annotation. These notes, later, will appear in the reports, so that they can be useful indications to those who are going to manipulate the animal. You can also declare the chip, the race, birthday, and other useful information. There are more than 100 different pre-configured races, but new ones can be defined as needed. Features such as sex, date of birth, weight, and other fields configured by the user that are of interest. We return again to the task of registering a new reservation. After the selection of the animal, it is possible to select the type of accommodation requested by the customer that will correspond to one of the services defined by the company. All services offered can be configured and customized according to the rates of each dog hotel. The cost of a day's stay is not the same as the cost of the stay of an animal during 1 week, or even 3 months. The cost for a stay is not the same if the customer brings an animal, or brings several animals at once. The software includes a default configuration that can be utilized for an easy starting up. Default services can be modified to the needs of each company. By default, a new booking would be defined in the reservation state. When the animal is entered at the hotel, the reservation will change state and color. Returning to the previous example, it is possible that the customer requests additional services. For example, it is quite common for the customer to request home pickup, a haircut, a vaccine, or also that delivery of the animal at home. When a customer requests additional services, it is possible to associate these tasks with the same reservation at the same time. Each of the services has a defined price, and will be billed automatically by the system upon delivery of the animal. An important and useful tool is the possibility of associating any task with the work agenda. For example, for each additional task or service, it is possible to define the execution date, so that if the pickup and delivery of an animal is planned on a specific date, it will automatically appear in the task schedule. Agenda management will be described at the end of the video. It is very important to have the possibility to synchronize the calendar with mobile phones through the Google Calendar. Check-in documents. It is possible to print out an entry document to be signed by the customer. This document shows the stay requirements, the price, and the associated services included in a stay. Once the reservation has been completely configured, it appears in red color during the defined period of time at the corresponding box. Continuing the cycle, when the animal arrives, you just have to select the corresponding booking and change the status from reserved to occupy. In this way, the booking state changes from red to purple. Automatic invoice generation. When the day of departure of the animal arrives, the reservation contains all the information necessary to make the invoice. Pressing on the button, Delivery Note. The system automatically creates a delivery note with the stay and all the services associated at their corresponding prices. When the delivery note is generated, the box occupied is available for a new reservation. Once the delivery note has been generated, if necessary, all the concepts, prices, quantities, and other elements of the delivery note can be modified to suit the needs of the moment. Once the delivery note is OK, the invoice is generated through the Invoice button. The invoice can be composed of a single delivery note or several delivery notes. Having several delivery notes is quite common. In the case that the customer is repetitive, different services can be performed in a given period. For example, once a month. This is usual working with government or big companies. The invoice can be configured with your logo, background, colors, sizes and other aesthetic aspects to adapt it to the needs of the company. The invoice can be printed out or sent directly by email if the customer requires it. With the printing or sending of the invoice, the complete cycle is finished. Searching for reservations. The software has a fast and very versatile search system. By clicking on the screen telescope button, the search menu opens. In the search menu, the current stays are displayed by default, so that they are quickly accessible. The search system is very intuitive and can be done through multiple fields. By dates of entry, date of departure, or by different states, by box, customer, chip, subject, and notes. The results can be obtained sorted by different concepts. Once the reservation is located, it is very easy to double-click to go directly to the selected reservation. Reports. The reports show the most relevant information and daily management. Daily entries and departures, registration of stays between dates, and daily occupancy. It is also possible to get the report sorted by any column. The agenda. The agenda can be accessed using 3 different views. First one. Monthly view. Secondly. Weekly view. And finally, daily view. The agenda notes can be entered directly, as scheduled tasks, appointments, or simply notes. These notes can also come from synchronization with a Google Calendar or from the reservation system. In the previous section, we saw how it is possible to associate a pickup and delivery service of an animal with a reservation. For each service it is possible to associate a date. If so, this task appears automatically programmed in the agenda, so that we can have a schedule of tasks and unified services inside the agenda. This is all from the Dog Hotel Management module. We appreciate your attention. You can have more information about the management in billing areas in one of the videos that accompany this demonstration. For any question, extension or inquiry, please do not hesitate to contact us. From the Macrosoft team, we thank you for your attention.